Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sonia and I'd love it if you could subscribe. And if you're already an existing subscriber, welcome back. So for today's video, I'm going to be filming my update for the palette roulette project. So the way that I do this is I bring in 4 eyeshadow palettes for 3 uses each and then a face palette for 5 uses. Now this update, I can only roll 2 of the eyeshadows out and the face palette. I still have 2 eyeshadow palettes I've not used yet. So I'm only going to be rolling in 2 eyeshadow palettes and a face palette. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the 2 eyeshadow palettes I can roll out, and then I'll talk about the 2 I haven't used yet, and then I'll talk about the face palette, and then at the end I'll roll in the new palettes. So the first one is the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette. So this is what this one looks like. And I absolutely loved using this one. It is so pretty, and I remember when I first saw this I fell in love with it, and even now when I use it I just absolutely love it. This is going nowhere, and I do have quite a few dips on some of these shades as well. Frostbite though, which is this one here, hopefully it's focusing. This one is a bit crumbly now, but the rest of them work beautifully, and yeah, managed to get my 3 uses on that. And then the next one I got my 3 uses on was the Too Faced Too Femme palette. So this is what it looks like, and then this is what it looks like on the inside. This is such a pretty palette. I really did enjoy the looks that I did with this. I did do a pink look with these ones here and I thought it looked beautiful, and today I'm wearing this shade here all over my lid because I was in the office today. So I usually just do like a quick one and done eyeshadow, and I thought it looked really pretty. Yes, this is another one that will absolutely be staying in my collection. I do like Too Faced formula. I just haven't been wowed by any of the newer palettes that have come out, but I do like their formula. What I will say is if you've never tried Too Faced, they are quite heavily fragranced, so if you don't like that I wouldn't recommend Too Faced, but I do really enjoy the formula of those. And then the 2 I haven't used yet, the first one is the BH Cosmetics Weekend Vibes Mimosa palette. This will be the one I will start to use next. This is definitely a Sonia palette because it is full of pinks, and if you don't know, pink is my favourite colour. So this palette is definitely a Sonia palette, and I am looking forward to dipping into this. And I just think I would use all of these shades in this palette, every single one of them, and that's very rare because usually I find there's always like maybe 1 or 2 shades I wouldn't use. But no, I would use them all in this palette, but I haven't used it once yet. And then the other one I haven't used yet either is the Urban Decay Naked Cyber palette. And I'll get it out of the packaging. This is what it looks like. I absolutely love the packaging of this palette. And then this is what this one looks like. And again, I would actually use all of these, which like I said is very rare. Very rare I would use all of them. I've got this brush here that I still haven't taken out of it. But yeah, I haven't used this one yet. I haven't used either of these actually ever. But this was a gift from my parents, so I definitely want to get some uses on this, and I will have this one rolled out by next update. So those are the 2 palettes I haven't used yet. And now let's move on to the face palette. So I rolled in the Dior Backstage Glow Face palette in Universal. So this is what it looks like. I actually got this as a Christmas gift from my partner one year, and this is beautiful. I don't think I used the bronzer actually in my 5 uses, but I did use the blush and this highlight. I'm actually wearing this highlight today, and it is stunning. So pretty, and this is a beautiful like blush topper as well. Really enjoy this. This is going nowhere. I knew when I rolled this in last update that I did enjoy this palette anyway, and even though I'm trying to work through my collection and see which ones I want to keep, I do also want to be getting uses on ones that I know I do love as well. So I got my 5 uses on that. So now let's roll in. I've actually put all of my eyeshadow palettes into Wheel of Names now. So I have 70 eyeshadow palettes that are eligible. Hopefully you're going to be able to see this. So the first one I'm going to roll in is Marc Jacobs Extravagance. I think one of the eyeshadows in that palette is broken and it gets absolutely everywhere. So I think I'm actually going to get rid of that like eyeshadow in that palette because it wouldn't be a shade I would use anyway. But that is the first one. And then the second one is the ABH Modern Renaissance. Okay, do you know what? I don't think I've ever used that. Maybe once or twice. And I've had that in my collection a while. Okay, so those are the two palettes. Now let's move on to the face palette that I'm going to choose. So I have 38 face palettes that are eligible, and the one that we're going to be rolling in this update is the ABH Trio in Pink Passion. Oh, this is ABH heavy. Okay, so what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to go and get those palettes and I'll be right back to show you what they look like. Okay, I'm back and I have the palettes. So the first one was the Marc Jacobs Extravagance palette. So this is what this one looks like. And this is what it looks like inside. I am going to have to clean this because it is this shade here that is smashed. Hopefully you can see that. And it's not a shade I would use anyway, so I am actually going to just dig that out and just get rid of it because it has got everywhere. It gets all over my hands, it's gotten all over my makeup drawers, so I'm actually just going to get rid of that shade. But the rest of the shades in here I would use. Yeah, they're neutrals and I love a neutral look. It is definitely something I can get through use on, and like I said, I'm going to get rid of this shade because it just gets everywhere. And then I have the ABH Modern Renaissance palette, and this is actually, I don't know if you can see there, this palette has gone onto this and marked the palette. But this is what it looks like. Oh, I think I have used this before actually, just not a huge amount. It's not well loved, which is what I'm trying to get my palettes looking. I need to now stop buying makeup when I don't need it because I have got so many beautiful like palettes and other makeup products in my collection. I don't need to be buying more. I need to start getting use in some of my palettes that I do have, like this one. Some of these shades in here are not shades I would maybe usually go for, but I'm trying to push myself out my comfort zone when doing this project as well, so I will use some of these. I know this is a popular ABH palette that I know everyone did love. And then the face palette I am bringing in. So the way that I categorise my face palettes is 2 or more products in the palette. So this is the ABH Blush Trio, and this is what it looks like. So this is older in my collection. I actually picked this up from TK Maxx quite a few years ago now. But the way that I use this is I just mix it, so I will get use on all of these in my 5 uses. And this has been something I have thought about using recently anyway, because it is getting to be older and I need to see if it's something that still performs well, still smells okay. But yeah, I need to use it and see what I think and whether it's still okay and it's not going to cause a reaction on my skin. So that is it. That is my update. So the palettes I'm going to be still working on is the BH Cosmetics Mimosa palette, the Urban Decay Naked Cyber palette, the Marc Jacobs Extravagance palette. I feel like I'm handling this with care because I don't want to get the shade all over my hands. And then the Modern Renaissance palette by ABH. And then the face palette is the ABH Blush Trio in Pink Passion. So next update, I do think I'll be able to get my uses on these. It just depends on how much I wear makeup because I haven't been feeling great. So when I don't feel great, I don't wear makeup. So I've not worn it a huge amount in May, to be honest. So I think it really does just depend on how much I do wear makeup as to whether I can get my uses on all of the palettes or just some of them. But as long as I think I can roll in at least 1 palette each update, I'll be happy. So that is it. that is my update. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and it means the absolute world to me if you could subscribe if you don't already. And until my next video, thank you for coming by. See you later.